All right, Schlockmeister fans, it's another Gary Coleman film. The Kid from Left Field. Let's check this one out. Gary Coleman is Jackie Robinson Cooper, J.R. Cooper. He's manager of his local Little League team, and he's good. Robert Guillaume plays Larry Cooper, JR's dad. Former baseball player, but now he sells peanuts at San Diego Padres games. He used to be a Padre. And he's got some well-founded, strong opinions about this team and its manager now.
Where'd it go? Here's your change. What do you expect? Padres ain't worse fit in the wind. It ain't the Padres that stink, it's their so-called managers.
And then without stopping for a perfect strike to home plate to cut off the runner from third base. And you asked it on you.
Well, did you?
No, I missed. He slid right under the tag.
JR thinks his dad would be a better manager.
Well, I don't think it would do any good these days, son. The way the Padres are playing, there's more vendors than fans.
Well, you can help the team. You know what's wrong with them. You ought to be manager.
I think I've been doing for the last 5 years.
Ed McMahon is the owner.
I made up my mind. I'm going to sell.
Let me see what I can do to beef things up a bit. I mean, I hate to see you take a complete loss.
So do I. Give me a gimmick. Find something. Anything.
Take a break.
Meanwhile, he loses his job as the vendor.
Wants the best team in the league.
Did you hear what I said?
And you know peanuts about baseball.
Well, all I know is that you're a hothead and you're fired.
So JR goes to the owner to see if he can get his dad his job back.
J.R. Cooper. He says he was named after Jackie Robinson.
Come on in, son.
So Mr. Hagan called him when he was working very hard at rooting and fired him.
Oh?
So I'm here to get my pop's job back.
Now, does your father know you came in here?
Nope. He wouldn't like that.
For work tomorrow, and he'll be selling beer just like you wanted.
I knew you could fix it, Mr. Walker. Thanks.
Larry Cooper, I had no idea he was still around.
Well, for some reason, a social worker stops by to... Hey, there's a Brewers pennant. Nice. Stops by to see if JR is being taken care of properly. So we have a subplot here. He also managed to finagle a bat boy job out of Ed McMahon.
The new bad boy. Well, it wasn't my idea, but Walker put him on. Get the kid a suit, will you?
That's Tab Hunter as the manager. Gary Collins as Pete Sloan.
Looks like you need a tailor and maybe a lot of vitamins.
Well, a suit that fits.
I'm Pete Sloan.
Oh, yeah, I know all about you. You joined the team last time when Pop played. You have a habit of not swinging at the first pitch. You let it go by no matter what they throw.
Hey, JR.
The pitchers know it. They throw it right down the middle, and that puts you one strike in the hole.
What do you think I ought to do about it?
Ain't nothing wrong with a base hit.
So he takes JR's advice and swings at the first pitch and lines a double. He helps a lot of the players. His dad's actually giving him some advice too, and the team starts winning.
I think the idea of bringing that kid along was
I'll tell you.
Sloan and his dad were rivals.
It has to do with when we were playing together. You know, we were sort of rivals then. Come on, you know how it is.
Yeah.
The cloud with the silver lining that has just dumped opportunity right into our laps. We have won 6 games in a row, and I'll drink to that.
Third base is playing deep. Lay down the ball.
What am I supposed to tell Loran?
Hey, come on, never mind Loran. Just do like JR.
So he's telling him to do what the coach isn't. So based on what JR told him to do, he lays down the bunt. A run scores. Padres win. The manager is not happy.
You better level with me because I've been watching you. You're the one that's been doing the coaching.
Well, I just gave the team luck. At least that's what everybody says.
Nothing. He was was a second-rate player his whole life. Your father's a bum.
Come on, come on!
You're gonna get fined good.
Okay.
If they find out it's me, they won't take it seriously. Now, we've got to keep them thinking it's just you.
Okay. Don't worry, Dad. I'll think of something.
All right. Take over the ball club?
And guess what the owner's going to do?
Yeah, why not?
That's a gimmick, all
I
right.
think that's a great idea.
Need the money, Fred. Bill, I've got plenty of other places to go for my services.
Bill.
And they don't include playing nursemaid.
Oh, don't
So the
be a
manager
pothead,
walks
Bill.
out.
Bill, reconsider. Bill,
Leaving JR in charge.
The biggest attraction since Babe Ruth or Mickey Mantle.
I got the signal to steal home. I ran. He swung at the ball anyway. Hit a line drive right into my head. After that, I was gun-shy.
That's why he and Sloan don't get along.
No fancy dance unless it shows up on the scoreboard. Now I just get out there and get that.
So they've made it to the playoffs.
Represent the National League and play the American League champion Chicago White Sox in baseball's Fall Classic, the World Series.
And the former manager now manages the White Sox, of course.
Different from any others of the past.
In the pudding, we've just won the first 3 games of the World Series. Oh, and I'd like to point out, no team in history has ever done that and lost the series.
But then JR gets taken away.
It's best for JR.
And I don't think you see all this mail, Mary. May I call you Mary? Look at this. 5 bags every day. There are millions of fans of JR's out there that love him and are demanding his return. If this is true, Larry Cooper can get us out of this.
They've
mess.
lost the next 3 games then.
We've lost 3 straight. We've only got 1 game left. There is nobody else. I mean, you saw yesterday, Harrison. He just can't cut it.
I'm losing my son.
They offer the job to Larry.
Look, Walker wants you to step in and manage the team. What do you say? Do you love selling peanuts so much you throw away the break of a lifetime?
Larry still has a grudge against
Sit
Pete.
here and feel sorry for himself. You're never going to change, Larry. You're a bum.
Are you crazy? Back on a winning
But he
track
accepts
and
the offer
sitting on the
anyway.
bench today. He may not even make it into the last game of the season.
But he's benched Pete. Meanwhile, JR's trying to get to the stadium in time. Down by 2 in the 9th with a winning run up to the plate, he puts Pete in as a pinch hitter.
I want you to go in now. Pinch hit for me.
Why?
Because you're the best man I got for the job.
And on an 0-2 pitch, you can see right where this is
He's into the
going.
windup. Here's the 0-2 pitch.
And the Padres win. And JR gets there just in time to celebrate. All right, let's talk about The Kid from Left Field. Gary Coleman made 3 television movies which start with the words "The Kid From," the kid with 200 IQ, the kid with a broken halo, and the kid from left field. This is the only one that I actually hadn't seen before until today. Have had it on a VHS tape for years, just never watched it. Don't think I watched this back in the day either. I reviewed the other 2 kid movies on my channel earlier. I also reviewed Jimmy the Kid and On the Right Track as well. And Scout's Honor. So anyway, this movie is about his dad, former Major League player. He's now selling peanuts and soon beer at the San Diego Padres Stadium. He loses his job. Gary Coleman then gets his dad's job back by talking to Ed McMahon, who's the owner of the team, directly. Next thing you know, he becomes a bat boy as well, and he starts giving advice to some of the players, and his advice works. So he's thought to be this boy baseball genius. Turns out his dad is actually helping him behind the scenes a little bit too. So anyway, to make a long story short, as ridiculous as it sounds, they end up getting rid of the manager. The manager actually walks away, and they hire Gary Coleman to be the new manager of the Padres. And the Padres are the worst team in the league, but suddenly they go from worst to first and they make the playoffs. There's a subplot here with Child Protective Services thinking that maybe Robert Guillaume isn't the greatest dad in the world, and they take him away for a while. So they win the first 3 games of the World Series after winning the playoffs, or the National League playoffs. And then Gary Coleman gets taken away from Child Protective Services, and they end up losing the next 3 games. So what's going to happen for Game 7 back in San Diego? Well, eventually they somehow get Robert Guillaume to take over as manager, and bottom line is they win the game. Gary Coleman runs on the field at the end. He managed to get to the stadium just in time, and it's a happy ending. Again, a really, really silly premise, but you know what? The film is pretty entertaining, I thought. It's ridiculous, but I enjoyed it. You know, I don't know. Somehow I have a soft spot for all these ridiculous Gary Coleman movies. He made 5 TV movies and then 2 theatrical ones, and I've reviewed all of them now except for The Fantastic World of D.C. Collins, which I'll be reviewing soon. He also made another movie after all of his cutesy movies made for TV called Playing with Fire, where he plays some sort of serial arsonist. I'd love to track that movie down, but apparently that's hard to find, and even all the DVD-R bootleg communities out there are looking for the movie too. Nobody seems to have taped it back in 1985, so too bad, because I'd love to see it. So anyway, if anybody has it, let me know. So anyway, it's The Kid from Left Field. Like I said, not available on DVD. It's VHS only. Made some box art here and burned it myself. So, yeah, I'll leave a link to Amazon if you're looking for the tape, though, although I think it's kind of pricey at this point, like a lot of the Gary Coleman movies are. It is time for a box set for all these damn things, though, isn't it? Gary Coleman box set? I'd buy it. Anyway, check it out. It's The Kid from Left Field. Let me know if you've seen it. Leave some comments down below. Watch it. Bye. Gary Collins is in this, too.